Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode, the sixth episode, in fact, of From Dublin to Cleveland. I am, as always, your host with the most, Logan Howard. And I am joined by my good friend and also continued, why he stays on the show, I don't know why, but he does. We love him for it. It's Brendan Thomas Merritt. Brendan, how are you today?
Like always, I've got nowhere better to be. That's why I'm here.
Well, we're glad you're here anyway. So, today we're going to do something that's different than we've done before, but you know that we've said that before. Today we're going to play a game, and I'm going to call it Fill in the Blank, but that's just the, do I want to say PG version of it? Because some people could take Blankety Blank wrong. So let's just say it's the PG version of that, which is fill in the blank. So basically what we're going to do is Brendan is going to ask me a question. I'm going to give my answer to the question. He's going to give his answer to the question. So then we're going to reveal, and hopefully we can get enough of them that we're not like completely unrubric matches, that we have some things in common and we answer things in common correctly. So that'll be the game we're going to try and play. So Brendan, I will turn it over to you and you can ask us the first question.
Happy days. All right, guys. The first sentence in the US knockoff of the UK TV show Blankety Blank, now known as Fill in the Blank, is, it was so hot yesterday, my blankety blank melted.
All right, I have my answer. It was so hot yesterday, my friend melted.
Yeah, it's totally not a rubric match. Ice cream. We're off to a good start. 0-0 is a common result at this point in the game.
Yeah, not even close.
You know, like unless your friend is like, you know, Lot's wife, and she's just turned into a pillar of salt or something. I don't know how she melted.
You never know.
Can salt melt? Who knows? You never know. Stranger things have happened. All right, 2. My brother never blankety blank with me.
All right, I'm going to say my brother never played with me.
Aww. Played this game. It's a rubric match.
Yes.
We've got 1 point.
Yes, that'll work. Okay, good. See, we got one. We're not complete
Number
fools.
3. Dunces. I haven't blankety blank for a long time. Keep it clean, Logan. This is a Christian podcast channel.
Oh. This one's tough. I'm going to go with... oh man, how about you go first? Well, I give it a second because I'm not going to steal your answer, but
crashed the family car.
Crashed the family. It
was months ago, people. I'll get over it. I have.
There's a story behind this.
We'll get to it someday. I'm not quite over the troll, but I can't share it yet.
Mine was I haven't gone on a hike for a long time. Like I think it was earlier this year, but it's been
okay.
A while, so
okay. That would have been true for me too.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. I always go blankety blank after class.
I always go home after class. As soon as class is done, I'm going home.
That is not my answer because I teach from home. My answer was get some food. I always get some food. I rolled out of my classroom and straight onto the dinner table. All right, number 5 of 20. Oh, I'm so hungry. I could eat a blankety blank.
Okay, I've got my answer. This one's a joke, so some of you might get it. Some
Go
of you
for it.
might think it's just a dumb dad joke. But I'm so hungry I could eat a country because Hungary is a country. Boom, roasted.
So far superior to my own answer. I decided to go with the biblical approach and say Leviathan. Biggest creature the Lord made, y'all. Book of Job. Read about it. At number 6. I like blankety blank before I go to school.
I'm going to say taking a shower before I go to school. I think that's the way I'm going. Taking a shower.
A shower, okay. I heard an interesting article last week that said fewer people are showering since the lockdown began.
That's terrifying.
Or showering on a regular basis, should I say. Sadly, I'm in that number. I said to have made a cup of tea. Even right now, I've got a teacup on a mug with my name spelled incorrectly. Who is Brendan? I don't know, but I like the cup. And I also have a cup of boiled water with lemon and lime. I love fluids, so I cannot teach unless I have 2 or 3 mugs and glasses or something beside me. All right, number 7. I saw a blankety blank man on the bus.
I'm going to say I saw a strange man on the bus, because usually you see strange people on the bus. So I'm going to, that's what I'm going to say.
That's so offensive. You do meet the most peculiar people on buses, it's true. Bus Aaron in particular in this country. I said a legless man. One of my friends yesterday told me a story about a guy he saw who had no legs. A legless. Think of Legolas, the elf from Lord of the Rings with no O. He had no legs and he crawled onto the bus.
Oh, okay.
Got some money and just crawled right back off. But it's on a bus, so you expect that.
Interesting.
Number 8. Last night I blankety blank.
So, last night I watched TV, I read a book, and I sent some messages to Brendan. That's what I did.
Are you naming and shaming me because I haven't replied yet? I'm sorry, I've got a job.
I wasn't naming and shaming you. It's only been one day.
One day too many. I won't let my brother in from work. He gets home at 1 a.m. and he knows I'm in bed, but he likes to knock the door because he knows I'll answer anyway. Relationship goals. All right, number 9. This is a juicy, spicy question for the introduction of the video. It's a Christian channel, keep it clean. Logan has a small blankety blank.
Ego. I'm gonna say ego.
All right, you know yourself better than I do. Okay, not exactly what I said. We have the same number of syllables. I said you have a small big toe. You strike me as someone who has really large feet but tiny toes.
That's not true at all. He's never even seen me in real life. He's just making things up.
True. I have a full life-sized replica. I'm in a cardboard wardrobe of what I think your body looks like proportionately. Why would I even say that? Number 10. He was so drunk, he... Blankety blank.
He was so drunk, he started to stutter. I'm going to go with that phrase.
I thought I'd go with the obvious choice and would have a Rubik match. I said fell over. Not the same.
Oh.
Not the same.
Yeah. We're not very good at this.
Okay, number 11. We're not. So far we've got 1 out of 10. It's like I thought you knew me. Our friendship is a lie. Number 11. My teacher is blankety blank.
My teacher is sometimes mean.
It's true. I am. I said clueless. Words to wise people coming from a real life teacher. Most teachers know nothing. We literally learn something 2 minutes before we teach it to you. And when you ask us questions about the rules, and we say, that's not quite relevant to today's lesson, but I'll come back to that tomorrow. That is code for stop asking me questions I don't have the answer to. Number 12. My dog likes to eat blankety blank.
Meat and only meat. He does not eat any vegetables.
And yes, apparently we are to believe he genuinely wrote that in 3 seconds. I wrote slippers. That was the one answer I happened to name drop before we started recording. I thought that would be a shoe-in. No pun intended. 13. Look! I've never seen such a big... blankety blank.
The only time I'm using that phrase is like if I see the moon. So I'm going to say, look, I've never seen such a big moon.
That's not the same as my airplane. Don't you say, look, I've never seen such a big on a daily basis? What's wrong with you? Americans. "14. I couldn't blankety blank until I was 15. I couldn't blankety blank until I was 15.
How honest do you want me to be here?
I'm not going to be as honest as I could be.
Okay, well I will. Be
I'm not going to be honest, so I encourage you to be either.
I'm going to be honest.
We don't want this video to get flagged by YouTube.
So this might be a story behind it. There might be some. So I couldn't shower without a washcloth over my eyes until I was 15. Because I hated getting stuff in my eyes, like shampoo or soap of any kind. So I always had a towel on my eyes when I was washing my hair. And then I finally realized you just need to grow up, and if it gets in your eye, it gets in your eye.
You know what? Now you mentioned that is not the worst answer you could have chosen, and I was probably at the same age when I inadvertently came to that realization too. Wow. No, I regret choosing the answer I chose. I chose smile. I was a really depressed, dark and twisty adolescent, child and prepubescent. It was only when I was 15 that I first kind of really made friends.
Cool.
I was everything before it became cool. People hated me because I was the one who was breaking the ice. And now they're all, Instagramming this and TikToking that. And I'm like, bruh, without me, you would have nothing. But do I get the credit for it? Nay.
Well, we can tell
15.
that he doesn't have
I'm going
a small
to
ego.
blankety blank. You said we were being honest, okay? Right, 15. I'm going to blankety blank tomorrow.
I am going to sleep in tomorrow.
Lucky for some. I'm going to go on a retreat tomorrow. Brendan is the blankety blank in the group.
Brendan is the strictest guy in the group. He's got the rules. This is how we do things.
It's true. He really is. And you deviate from my rule book at your own peril. I've said the least shaven. You can tell that I've just neglected putting a razor to my face in the last few days. Alright, 17. Be careful what your answer is. Your salvation depends on this. Were Jesus Christ on the earth today, he would blankety blank.
He would flip some tables. Flip some tables.
I think my answer could somewhat be related to that. He would be a Trump supporter. Y'all know it's true. Hashtag Trump WON.
And we've got our politics checked off this week.
Exactly. Stay tuned for more next week. Number 18. Logan is always blankety blank.
Always playing or thinking about playing board games.
I think mine could perhaps, maybe slightly, perchance, be related to that. Mansplaining. Not only does he play board games, he tells you the rules. Even though you know how to play Scrabble and you've been playing it since you were 5. There's a mansplainer,
I don't even know
Logan.
if he knows
Get
who
your
I
act
am.
here, seriously.
What is going
Cop yourself
on?
It wasn't the first word that came to hit my mind. It's that I can't say the first thought I had. Alright, second last one. If Brendan found 1,000 euros, he would blankety blank
pay off his car insurance. It's very expensive over there.
It is shocking expensive, but I actually found the cheapest deal in the country. It was a gift from God. So now, were I to find 1,000 euros, I would invest it in crypto. Hashtag crypto is the future, people. Ethereum, Cardano, send it my way if you're finished with it. And number 20. I have never blankety blank.
I have never been able to grow a beard to save my life.
Would you like mine? I can shave it up and send it to you in the post. Forgive me.
Yes,
Mail.
please. Yes, please.
I chose killed anyone, but I'm beginning to think I should have chosen I've never done this badly at blankety blank before. Well, after a riveting game in which you all got to know us in the juiciest fashion, I can confirm that we have scored 1 out of 20. And just to remind you all, the one we got right was the second one. My brother never played this game with me. So we don't even deserve a slow clap. That was pathetic.
Hey, it means we know each other. We got one right. We could have been zero. Could have been zero. Room for improvement.
Could have been.
Room for improvement.
It would have been more honorable if it had been zero. Goodness.
Well, anyway, we'll get into the more serious part of our conversation this afternoon, morning, evening, wherever it is you're listening to us. Let's turn in the Bible to Isaiah 53, and we're going to go to verse 12. So Isaiah 53, verse 12. And this is what it says. It says, "Therefore I will divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his soul unto death. And he was numbered with the transgressors," or rebels, some versions say, and he bore the sins of many, and made intercession for the transgressors, or rebels. Now, if I'm going to go first this time, then I'll turn it over to Brendan. But if I'm reading this, I would think that this would come as like a synopsis about Jesus somewhere in Matthew or Mark or Luke or John. Because this is exactly who it's talking about. They're talking about Jesus, but it's in Isaiah, which is crazy to think about. How God orchestrates the Bible, and that there's stuff that he's talking about somebody who isn't even born yet, even close to being born yet. But getting in a little bit of what he's talking about how Jesus will divide a portion with the great, he'll divide the spoils with the strong, and because he gave up his life. He gave up his soul unto death, and numbered with the transgressors, or rebels. He bore the sins of many and made intercessions for the transgressors, or the rebels. A lot of us like to think that we need to be with the best people, or maybe if we spend time with all these great people that their greatness will rub out on us or whatever. But if you see what Jesus did, he gave up his soul unto death for rebels. People who were against him, which we all are. We're all sinners. We've all fallen short. He gave up everything for us. And so the application that I immediately get and think of is how we need to be that in the world. We need to go to the dark places, the difficult people, the people who need Jesus Christ. Go and be numbered with the rebels. Be pointed out that you hang out with people who maybe are bit crass, a bit weird, but you're sharing the gospel with them. As long as that's the important thing that you're doing when you're hanging out with these people who sometimes you don't even get a choice to hang out with people. Sometimes it's just coworkers who are difficult. But God has placed us there to share Christ with them. So do that this week. Share Christ with people, and share the gospel. Brendan, did you want... I'll give you over to you to add anything you'd like.
I just think it's amazing how Jesus was obedient even unto death for us. Before we knew him, before we had become friends of God, before we had the opportunity to choose him, he chose us. And he chose us before the foundations of the earth were laid. He knew us in great detail. He knew all the bad things that we would do. He's also made, I'll say, certain measures to make up for the foolishness with which we daily appropriate ourselves. And he didn't flinch. He didn't say, yeah, guys, see this cup full of justice and judgment? Yeah, I'm not drinking that. Instead, he downed that cup for you and for me, knowing that even on our worst days, we were his kids. Even on our worst days, knowing the value of an everlasting soul. So, let this Bible verse change how you see yourself. See yourself as someone worth fighting for, someone worth dying for, someone that Jesus loves, someone that Jesus holds in such esteem that he'd go into the very bowels of the earth to purchase us, to buy us, to call us his own. That our adoption papers in heaven are signed, sealed, delivered with his blood. And I know it sounds crazy, and we can't explain it, and we can't justify it, and I'm so far beyond even trying to justify his decision, because if I were God, I would have just, destroyed us all millennia ago. But that's the power of his grace. We've all been forgiven much, so therefore I implore you to love much. And it's not easy. And I know that people don't deserve it, and they will spit in your face and throw your love right back at you. But that's the love that Jesus had for us. It's the love we received. It's a love that defines us. It's a love that literally has conquered death. So be encouraged and know that you are loved beyond anything else in all of creation. He didn't die for the angels, or fallen seraphim or cherubim, but he did for you and for me. Amen.
Amen. So, as we close up this time, we hope that we have been encouragement to you, gave you a good laugh. And if you need to get into contact with us or have anything you'd like to say about how foolish we are and we should have answered this or answered that, or maybe you're like, wow, I have had the same, I completely agree with what one of them said, let us know. Send us a message at lhawa62@wgu.edu. And you'll be hearing from us shortly. I think this episode will go live today, which is Thursday, and the next episode will go live Saturday. So keep in touch, keep listening, keep watching. Before we go, Brendan, anything else you want to add to our chats?
Yeah, I know that we don't even have to tell ye Calvinists who are watching to keep saying your hate mail, because you're going to do it anyway, and you're probably pulling hair to your heads, Jesus as a Trump supporter? I will not change my answer, people. I said what I said, I meant what I meant. You Calvinists, you got a date with destiny coming.
And that's why we love him, folks.
I don't actually hate Calvinists. I don't think I do. I haven't figured out much. I love much. I love everybody.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. You'll hear from us shortly. So have a good weekend and goodbye.